What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of DBD Builds. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 8 favorite perk combos in Dead by Daylight currently. Are there a ton of perk combos in this game? Yes. Are there a ton of good perk combos in this game? Also, yes. But these 8 perk combinations I'm going to share with you are probably my tried and true, my battle-tested ones, and the perk combos that I personally keep gravitating towards and always coming back to. So without further ado, let's hop into this episode. And also, this is my third time recording this. First time I made too many mess-ups. Second time, it actually didn't record. So round 3, baby. Let's get it. Gotta make this content. Let's start off with... Oh, and by the way, these perk combinations, while I'm going to be counting them down from 8 to 1, they are not ranked in any specific order. They're all great, and they're all good in their own scenarios. So don't feel like you have to use one over the other one. Just use whichever ones you think are fun. Let's hop into it. Number 8. Alright guys, number 8 on the list is none other than Inner Healing and Overzealous. If there was ever a combination of perks that went together like bread and butter, peanut butter and jelly, French toast, and more French toast, it would be these. Well, actually, honestly, probably a couple of them on the list. But, yes, Inner Healing. What does it do? When you cleanse a totem, you have the ability to heal yourself by getting inside a locker. After being in a locker for 8 seconds, you are fully healed, guys. That is a fast heal. It takes 16 seconds to heal a teammate normally. 16 seconds to heal with a medkit, and God forbid you use self-care. It's like 32 freaking seconds or something crazy like that. Don't ever use self-care, guys. So you get a free heal whenever you cleanse a totem. Overzealous. After you cleanse a totem, you do generators 8% quicker, but also if you cleanse a hex totem, you do generators twice as fast. So instead of 8%, you get a 16% bonus to your gen speed. Why do these two work so good together? Because one, they both involve you cleansing a totem. You only have to cleanse one totem for both of them to activate. But also that, Overzealous, when you lose a health state, you actually lose the bonus you get from this perk where you do the extra gen speed. So that actually works out really well because you lose a health state, you lose your Overzealous, but it doesn't really matter because then you hop in a locker, heal yourself up, whether you get out of chase or you end up just coming off the hook. You can run into a locker, heal yourself up, you're back to full health, find another totem, and do it all over again. Try these perks out together, guys. They're a ton of fun, and they're a great way of actually using totems for your advantage. Let's move on to combination number 7. All right, guys. Perk combo number 7. Borrow time and we'll make it. Borrow time. Whenever you unhook a survivor, they do have built-in borrow time now. So they have 10 seconds of extra speed, 10 seconds of endurance. Borrow time extends that an additional 10 seconds. So whenever you unhook a survivor, they're extra safe. You get 20 seconds of endurance and 20 seconds of extra movement speed. Will make it. Whenever you unhook a survivor, you get to heal. Every time you heal people, it's 100% quicker for the next 90 seconds. So you might think this is counterproductive. Why do you need to cover them with borrow time when you can just heal them really quick with Will Make It in 8 seconds? Well, here's the thing. Will Make It almost makes you a little bit tempted to want to unhook people just to get your value out of this perk. And while you could heal them on the spot, if anything goes wrong and that killer returns to the hook, instead of your teammate just dying because you unhooked them too early, they have a good chance of getting away with borrow time because that's 20 seconds of speed, 20 seconds of endurance, and also this lasts for 90 seconds. So even if you unhook them, run away to a safe location, and then heal them after the borrow time runs out, that's still 70 extra seconds of extra healing speed. This is a great perk combination for those of you altruistic players out there. Any of you guys who love being the team medic on your team, keeping your team healthy, getting those safe unhooks, and just keeping your team alive and well, this is the combo for you. Let's move into perk combination number 6. All right, guys, perk combo number 6 is none other than Wiretap and Blast Mine. Both of these perks activate when you repair generators. Wiretap. After doing 33% of a generator, you get access to Wiretap. You have to be repairing the generator for at least 3 seconds before you can install this Wiretap, but once you do, for the next 80 seconds, the killer's aura will be revealed when they are within 14 meters of the generator. The Wiretap will deactivate when the killer kicks said generator. So this is strong for multiple reasons. One, it gives you intel. Two, if the generator is somewhere where there's a lot of looping potential, like the killer shack, or if you're just close to like a good loop or some good structures, you can wiretap a generator and loop the killer for a very long time, because you always know what direction the killer's going to go. If the killer's trying to fake you out by hiding their red aura and walking backwards, you just know with wiretap. Like, I have drawn out some very long chases with this perk, and it's low-key kind of amazing. The downside is when the killer kicks your generator, you lose your wiretap, and that's where Blast Mine comes in. Blast Mine, similar to wiretap, you have to do 50% of a generator, which is actually a buff. They buffed it recently. It's only 50%. It used to be 66%. But after doing half a gen, and the reason why they buffed it is they actually kind of nerfed it. I'll just get into it real quick. Okay, let's pause this. Blast Mine, if you installed it on a generator and then the killer didn't kick the generator, you would get your Blast Mine refunded to you, which was great. Apparently that was never actually intended to be the case for this perk, so they changed it when Wiretap came out. So now if the gen doesn't get kicked, you just lose it, but then they buffed it a little bit, so you have to do less work on a gen to get your Blast Mine. Whew, that was a mouthful. Anyways, 50% of a gen, you get access to your Blast Mine. Same thing, after doing it for 3 seconds, you can install a Blast Mine. So if you have Wiretap and Blast Mine both loaded together, you install them both at the same time. You could also install Wiretap before and save your Blast Mine. However you want to do it, it's up to you. But you have 50 seconds where that generator is protected by a Blast Mine. So if the killer comes, you drop your Wiretap, or you have your Wiretap ready, and then you just drop your Blast Mine to protect that generator. Even if you run off and that killer decides to kick the generator, it will blow up in their face and stun and blind the killer. But not only that, guys, the best part about this combo, the oh so satisfying, grandiose, sweet, magnificent part about this combo, is that you have a front row ticket to the show. Because you are seeing the killer's aura, you can see every delightful second of that killer getting stunned and blinded by kicking your Blast Mine. And then the best part is that they still have to kick the gen a second time to get rid of your Wiretap. Guys, I have used this combo in a lot of builds, and it's just so damn funny when it works. Like, trust me, if you don't believe me, check out my video, the new Wiretap build on my channel, and you'll see this combo in action. It's great. Just try it. Try it for yourself. Let's hop into the next perk combination. Number 5. All right, guys. Perk combination number 5 is none other than Flashbang and Saboteur. Flashbang is kind of similar to the Blast Mine Wiretap. After doing 50% of a generator, you can craft a Flashbang when you get inside of a locker. You have 1 charge. You can drop this item to make a loud bang / flashing noise. It makes a noise notification, and you can use it to distract and blind the killer. A couple of cool things you do with this. You can get flashbang saves if you time it just right when the killer is picking up a survivor. You can actually flashbang save a survivor and cause the killer to drop that survivor. You can also drop the flashbang in front of a hook when the killer's turning a corner to try and hook a survivor and get a save that way. There's multiple different ways you can get the flashbang save. You just have to blind the killer, and you can pretty much save your teammates with this, and it's a lot of fun to try and use. Saboteur. This lets us see the hook auras within a 56-meter radius when a survivor is being carried. It also shows us scourge hooks and a yellow aura. It unlocks the ability to sabotage hooks, and it takes 2.5 seconds to do so. It's on a 60-second cooldown. Now, on paper, nothing between these two perks is actually screaming, oh, wombo combo, this goes good together, this is a nice combination. No, nothing here makes you think these go good together. But in practice, These perks go very good together because, like I said, flashbangs, we can save a survivor one of two ways. One, we get the flashbang save as the killer's picking up the survivor. Two, we drop the flashbang in front of a hook to get the stun. But where this perk comes in is that if you're not in position in time to get the flashbang save when the survivor gets picked up, you have a chance, a very good chance, to actually make it to the hook before the killer. And because we have Saboteur, you can see where all the hooks are at and usually have a good chance at guessing what hook the killer is going to go to. Now, two things can happen. You can go to the hook and try to get that flashbang save like we talked about. But if you don't manage to get the save, what will most likely happen? You drop a flashbang in front of the hook. The killer will most likely turn away to avoid getting flashbanged. But while the killer turns away, then you can actually sabotage the hook. And most of the time, you're going to get away with it. And it's so damn funny when it happens. You drop your flashbang, killer turns away, you sabotage the hook, then they turn around to only realize that they didn't get flashbang, but you sabotage the hook, so they can't actually hook your teammate anyways. That gives your teammate time to wiggle out, or a chance that your teammate will get dropped on the floor and left there for a little bit until the hook respawns. Which, in that case, I actually really like using We're Gonna Live Forever and Empathy with these perks. That way, it just rounds the build out really nice. Try these two out for yourself. They're a lot of fun, especially if you like being aggressive and just trying to save your teammates. I can't think of a combination of better perks than these two. And if you're wondering, the one thing though, this 2.5 second sabotage time, sometimes you'll still get hit while sabotaging the hook because it takes a little while. But you know what? That's literally your only option because we can't bring a toolbox with this because we're crafting flashbangs. Anyways, next combo, guys. Combo number 4. Alright, guys, combo number 4 is none other than lightweight and self-aware. Lightweight makes it to where our scratch marks disappear 5 seconds sooner than normal. I think the normal time is somewhere between 8 to 10 seconds roughly. 5 seconds is kind of a big deal. The thing about this perk though is that it's really, really good. But most people don't realize how good this perk is. And that's because you cannot actually see your own scratch marks. So you don't really know the value you're getting with this perk. It makes your scratch marks disappear 5 seconds quicker, but also it makes the spacing inconsistent, and that's kind of the key with this perk. Sometimes it'll make your scratch marks go to the right, sometimes it'll make your scratch marks go to the left, sometimes you won't even leave any scratch marks for a little bit, which is kind of awkward, but also really cool. But the thing is, you don't really realize the value you're getting with this because you don't see your scratch marks, and that's where self-aware comes into play. This perk shows you your own scratch marks, but also gives you the bonus of walking 20% quicker. Now, do yourself a favor. Use self-aware for a couple games. See your scratch marks. You'll realize how big an impact it makes in your gameplay. Then use self-aware with lightweight, and then you'll actually realize how good lightweight is. When you can see your scratch marks and how quickly they disappear, it becomes obvious that lightweight is low-key a sleeper, really, really good perk. And why I love comboing it with this one is because of the last line here. The spacing is inconsistent. Like I said, sometimes the scratch marks will shoot off to the right, sometimes they'll shoot off to the left. If you're running away from the killer in chase and you turn a corner and you notice that your scratch marks shoot off to the left or shoot off to the right after crossing that corner, you can do a little fake out. And you have your bonus walking speed, so you can stop running, and then you can walk the opposite direction. So let's say you run into the killer shack, or just make a hard turn inside a building. Let's just use a big building, for example. You run in, your scratch marks veer off to the left. You can walk to the right, try to hide under cover, and then the killer will most likely enter the building and see the scratch marks go into the left, and then they'll run left. Or vice versa. The scratch marks going off to the right, then you break line of sight, and then you walk to the left and try to hide somewhere. You can actually juke out the killer with this. But you would never know where your scratch marks were at to do some kind of juke like that if you weren't running self-aware. So there's a lot of cool little things you can do with these perks. And the biggest one is that you actually just get to see the value you get out of lightweight. Trust me, it's a pretty damn good perk. Anyways, guys, let's hop into combo number 3. Alright guys, combo number 3 is none other than Overcome and Lucky Break. And I take it back. I know I said that the first combo on this list went together like bread and butter, but this one really, really does go together like bread and butter, peanut butter and jelly, French fries and ice cream. That's right, if you haven't tried it, you're missing out. Not the point. If there was ever two perks that were just made to go together, it's these two. These are like puzzle pieces that like you should not ever run one without the other, and I'm going to show you why. 1. Overcome. Whenever you get hit, you always get a speed bonus. This extends that speed bonus by 2 extra seconds, which lets you run away really, really far. That's cool. But when you combine it with Lucky Break, whenever you're injured, remember, you're taking a hit, you're already getting injured. Lucky Break activates, which means you leave no trails of blood or scratch marks for a whole minute. And then for each second you spend healing another survivor, you can refill/extend Lucky Break's duration for 1 second, which is awesome because you can literally use this perk multiple times a match now and get huge value out of it. So the combo is, you're in chase, you get hit, you not only get a huge speed boost with Overcome, but you're also not leaving any scratch mark or any blood, so it's really difficult for the killers to track you, especially if you're somewhere where there's a lot of cover and you can break line of sight with the killer and you can run through some like terrain. Like, guys, I cannot tell you the amount of times I've played a match with this build. I get hit, I disappear, I heal up, I use something like Bite the Bullet and like a med kit so I can heal up quietly. The amount of times I've given the killers the complete slip with this build is crazy. Like, I'll get weird ass comments in the endgame chat like, you freaking ninja, or like stuff like that, and like it's awesome. You literally just disappear from the killer, guys. Like, unless you're just in the wide open, then maybe you wouldn't get value out of this combo, but for the most part, there's going to be somewhere for you could run and hide to. And, you know, bring Bite the Bullet, bring a medkit on top of these two perks, and you're good to go. This is one of the most fun perk combinations to use in Dead by Daylight. If you haven't already tried it, oh my god, what are you waiting for? I've got this combination featured on multiple videos on my channel. Check it out. Try it out for yourself. It's epic. It's awesome. Let's get into combination number 2, but before we do that, guys, 90% of you guys are not subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're enjoying this video, if you're enjoying this content, if you want to see this channel grow, if you want to help it grow, then please smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and join the family. Let's hop into combination number 2. Alright guys, number 2 on this list is none other than Hyperfocus and Stake Out. This one's a popular one. You're probably familiar with it, but if you're not, let's talk about it. Hyperfocus is a new perk from Rebecca Chambers. Let me explain it. It's kind of tricky when you read it. So, after hitting a great skill check, while you're repairing or healing, this perk will get a token, stacking up to 6 tokens. For each token, it increases the odds of you getting a skill check by 4%, and also increases the speed of that coming up skill check by 4%, essentially making it harder for you to get consecutive great skill checks. But not only that, each time you get a token, your bonus progression for great skill checks is increased by 30% of the base value. If you don't already know, great skill checks on generators progress the generator an extra 1% by default. Great skill checks on healing progress the healing an extra 5% by default. So, 30% stacking up to 6 times, which is quite significant. Now, the trick with this perk, though, is that you have to hit your great skill checks. And that's where none other than Stake Out comes in. Stake Out is a very good passive perk. Whenever you're within the killer's terror radius for a total of 15 seconds, not in chase, by the way, you'll get a token. What this token does is anytime you hit a good skill check, it'll automatically get converted to a great skill check, and you get an extra 1% bonus to your generator repair progress. So, you can get up to 4 tokens on Stake Out. And if you have 4 tokens and you manage to find yourself in a position to sit down and work on a generator, well, sir, You just got 4 great skill checks and 4 stacks of Hyperfocus, which is awesome. Guys, you will shred through gens so quickly with this build. It's absolutely insane. And not only that, you can actually heal really quick with this build too. Fun fact, not a lot of people use it for that reason, but when you do, it's fun, guys. I really, really enjoy it. Try this out for yourself. Hyperfocus and Stake Out. Also, guys, a lot of people haven't been talking about this, but there is a Yunjin perk. Comment down below if you know what it is. That would also go really good with this build. Alright, guys, let's hop it in to the last and the final perk combination. Alright, guys, number 1 on this list is none other than my personal favorite combo right now, which is Renewal and Off the Record. Renewal activates after you heal a total of 1 health state. It could be 1 sitting, like you heal 1 person from injured to fully healed. Sorry, it's getting late, guys. I'm stumbling on my words. Anyways, heal 1 full health state. Renewal activates. The next time you're unhooked, you stay broken for 20 seconds, and then you automatically fully heal yourself. This perk is awesome, underused, underrated. Nobody's using it, and I don't see why. Off the record. Once you're unhooked, for 80 seconds, you have endurance. Your aura won't be shown to the killer, and your grunts of pain are reduced by 100%. This doesn't work in the end game once the exit gates are powered, but any other time, it's great and it's fine. Now remember, with the endurance status effect, whenever you do a conspicuous action, which is like progressing the game anyway, you heal someone, you do a generator, you heal yourself, it'll deactivate your endurance effect, which means you can't take that bonus hit anymore. Why this perk combination shines so well? Because on paper, you wouldn't think it would, because if you're getting fully healed, why do you need Off the Record? And then if you have Off the Record, you don't really need to rush to heal yourself, right? Wrong. Why this perk combination is awesome is because after coming off the hook, Renewal will heal you in 20 seconds. That doesn't break the endurance of your Off the Record because it's not a conspicuous action. So you get a free heal, and then, oh no, what happened? You get a free heal, and then you still have 60 seconds of endurance. Killers will not ever expect this. Ever. They just don't expect it, guys. They'll expect like the dead hard, but they won't expect you to just be invulnerable for a whole minute. So then you can go straight into chase. You can take a hit because you heal with Renewal, and then you still have like 60 seconds to take the endurance hit with Off the Record. This is so clutch, guys, because you can drag out chase so long. Nobody expects it. It's super fun. And there's just so many possible synergies with these two perks together. Also, let's say the worst case scenario happens. Let's say you get unhooked. Remember, you have built-in borrow time for 10 seconds. Let's say you get chased immediately off the hook. You make it to like 15 seconds. Your Renewal hasn't actually activated yet. And then you take a hit. So then you go into the deep wound status effect because you take your Renewal hit. So that would come out of your Off the Record hit. So your Off the Record gets used up. Renewal hasn't gotten used yet. But the cool thing about that is that Renewal will actually just heal you a health state, period. So even if you're in deep wound, it will heal you out of deep wound back into the injured state, which is where this build really shines, because you can bring something along with you like Dead Hard and Decisive Strike and do some nasty combos and looping. Like you could go get off the hook, Renewal, get healed, take a hit, take your Off the Record hit, go down, Decisive Strike, and then into Dead Hard. Or you could get Renewaled, take a hit before your Renewal goes off, and then Renewal heals you out of deep wound, and then you can chain Dead Hard on top of that. Like, guys, I'm not even lying here. Like, I think this combo of perks, especially with Dead Hard and Decisive Strike, is probably one of the nastiest Survivor builds currently in the game. I think it's slept on. I don't think a lot of people are using it or even realize that these synergies work together. But if you're watching this video, then you're in the know. Try it out for yourself. And you could even bring like a med kit with a scriptic agent and bottled time, or scriptic agent and the syringe. to give you endurance and heal you a health state again. Like, it's nasty, guys. Like, there's some nasty chains you can do. Trust me. It's, whew, I don't even know if I should be telling you this, because, like, you guys are going to get these perks nerfed. My favorite perks. But nah, dude, try them out for yourself. Have fun with it. There is a little bit of skill, like in hitting your decisive strikes and your dead hards on top of these two perks, but ultimately, it's worth it and a lot of fun. That being said, guys, that concludes this episode of DBD Builds. Let me know what you thought of these perk combos. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite perk combos are. And don't forget to comment, subscribe, and leave a like for the algorithm. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Have an amazing day, and don't forget to smile. I'm out.